who will conduct the ceremonies, ensure fair play. So please put your hands together for our Knight Marshal, Sir John Babington!
For you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome once again to the lists at Belsay Hall, where you're about to see the finest gentlemen in the finest armour do their finest combat. With that, will you welcome your man from the north in blue, Sir Henry Percy!
The first knight into the field is our knight in blue, representing the north, Sir Henry Percy! Here he comes, galloping around in his fine steed. You can see his squire there making his way to the back of the arena to place his standard on this field of competition, to mark his place as he enters the lists. The list being simply the roll call of knights to take part into the tournament. Our first knight then, Sir Henry Percy.
Our next challenger, and some may say the favourite this day. In red, from the south, Sir John Charney!
The next knight in red, splendid there, with his shield caparison and tunic, we have Sir John Charney, who is the knight from the south! I'm sure there'll be some rivalry today. It's not between the knights, between the crowd.
Hey, Kevin.
Sir John Charney, currently the leader in today's tournament by 2 points. A splendid fellow, conducted himself very chivalrous.
There he is! Our next challenger. Some say he was raised by Greaves on Fenland in Norfolk. But we know him as young Sir Hugh Bygone, the Beautiful!
The next knight in gold, representing the east, Sir Hugh Bygone! Again, his squire taking his banner to place on the field to mark his claim to this tournament. Sir Hugh is our youngest of the knights, and some might say perhaps the prettiest. He still has not found himself a bride. I can see some of you have got all your flags, t-shirts and scarves, waving them aloft, and do so accordingly every time your knight rides into the tournament. So Hugh takes his place on the field. And the final knight is...
Our final challenger from the west, with an arm like Thor's hammer. Will you welcome, in his green, Sir Roger Mortimer, the Knight of the West!
The final knight is Sir Roger Mortimer in green, representing the West! You'll see each of our knights carries a shield with their emblems, and on their horse they wear these blankets. These are known as caparisons, again reflecting their livery. And Sir Roger is of the Mortimer family, a very well-known medieval family, known for deeds good and bad. And Sir Roger takes his place on the field. He currently lies in last place for today's tournament, but that could all change with this final bout. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just see once and for all what support we have for each of the knights. Please raise your cheers if you are supporting a green knight from the west, Sir Roger! And let's see what support we have for our gold knight from the east, Sir Hugh! And what support then do we have for our current leader, the knight in red from the south, Sir John! Sir John, you seem to elicit as many boos as cheers. And finally, what support have we for our blue knight from the north? We have turned tribal. So John, Marshall, please address us all with what you are about to tell us about the tournament.
My lords, ladies, I shall address the knights. Gentlemen, arm yourselves, warm your horses to the list while I explain the scores to the good people here.
He's going to explain the scores.
And so the knights now have been dispatched to either end of this field. You'll see in the middle of the field this rail. This rail is known as the tilt, and they now address themselves to either end and warm their horses by running either side of it as if they will when they take part in the jousting.
If a knight breaks his lance upon another knight's shield, he shall be awarded 2 points.
When the knights ride against each other down this tilt with their lance outstretched, their aim is to target their opponent's shield. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the aim of a joust is not to kill your opponent. It's merely to achieve the better of them and prove your prowess and gain your honour. They will achieve 2 points if they break their lance on their opponent's shield.
If a knight strikes an opponent's shield but does not break his lance, he shall be awarded but 1 point.
If then the knights should actually achieve contact with their lance on their opponent's shield but not break their lance, this is called an attaint, and they shall have 1 point for an attaint. 2 points for a break, 1 point for an attaint.
No points shall be given for a lance that is unbroken or that is called a miss. And also, any other illegal or foul strikes which may occur during the proceedings will be pointed out as thus and when.
The marshal will declare no points at all if they miss their target, or indeed their lance is unbroken and untainted with the shield, or indeed if they have an illegal strike, such as a strike to the helm, to the head. This will be decided by the marshal, who indeed will conduct all affairs on the field. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the tournament underway. Marshal, if you will, please. So as Sir John retires to the back of the arena so that he can see and inspect each of the movements, I can see that our knights are already armoured. You'll see atop their head they wear a helm, colloquially known as a bucket helmet. I'm sure you can see why.
The first course.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first course will be north versus east, blue versus gold. This is your chance now to cheer. The louder you cheer, the faster they ride. The faster they ride, the more chance there is of them falling off. So join me with a massive cheer as our marshal commences the tournament. For the Knight of the East in gold, an attaint, 1 point. For the Knight of the North, no points. No contact from the Knight of the North. Perhaps our northern supporters need to cheer even louder. Place in his belly the courage and spirit of the North. Our next bout will be between the Green Knight and the Red. South versus West. Away they go! One point apiece has been awarded. They did achieve contact, although no broken woodwork at the moment. 1 point to South and 1 point to West. Each of the knights will ride against each other of their opponents on 1 pass apiece. We will then conclude affairs with a final between the 2 highest scorers. Our next bout is Green Knight of the West, Blue Knight of the North. A fine break of lances. 2 points to the Green Knight of the West. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the Northern Knight has not scored any points. His lance broke against the woodwork of the tilt rail, and he has owned up to this himself. So although he receives no points, he must receive our praise in chivalry. There'll be no foul play here today. South versus East, red versus gold.
Come on, East.
On the command of the Marshal, laissez-aller, they will charge together. Away they go! Oh. 2 points to the South, 2 points to Sir John in red. 1 point. 2 points as well to our knight in gold, Sir Hugh. From the East, 2 points. They both broke lance on each other's shield.
Each of our knights has ridden against each other one time. We now call upon 2 of our knights to swap ends.
So they've ridden once against each other from their respective ends. What we shall do now to ensure fair play, so there's no advantage given from starting from either end of the tilt rail, the knights will swap.
I call on the supporters of the North to cheer now. The supporters of the South to cheer now.
Ladies and gentlemen, North versus South. Blue against red. Away they go! Ladies and gentlemen, 2 points to our knight in red from the South. And for our knight from the North, we award... It seems that the Knight of the North may have seemed to blow a body blow at that pass.
He lives, he will ride again.
He lives! Sir Henry is not injured. He lives. But does he receive any points? But no points.
However, we shall ride that pass again. North versus South once more.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Marshal has declared that pass invalid. So we shall ride again. North versus South. The rematch. Away they go! Well, you could all see what I could see. Our knight from the South has shattered his lance and receives from the Marshal 2 points. Our knight from the North, his lance is intact, but he did achieve an attaint against the shield, although not broken his lance. 1 point. And now the opposite sides of the country, East versus West, gold versus green. The gentlemen are ready, the squire repairing the tilt. A lance has been dislodged from the arm of the Green Knight of the West, Sir Roger. Ah, the knight from the east struck across the body, no points, an illegal strike. Ladies and gentlemen, as well, no points to the knight from the west, Sir Roger. He too struck his opponent across the chest. Not a direct hit at all, and therefore an illegal strike, no points apiece.
I ask each knight to present his shield fairly to the entertainment of our crowd.
Indeed, perhaps there the marshal is suspecting foul play. The knights perhaps leaning their shield away from the opposing lance, making the contact more difficult. We shall have none of that skullduggery. We are not in France!
We are not in France.
The knights will ride again. Away they go!
Get a photo of that one there, no?
We have seen splintering wood, but it is not as clean cut as we might think. With both of the lances, as you can see when the knights ride into the tilt, they lean forward, tilt forward. However, these two gentlemen have leant forward and their two lances have met, poco a poco.
The list, this is the finest strike that can be given, so each knight gets 3 points each.
3 points apiece. They broke lance on lance, not against shield, but lance on lance. And such is the joyous occasion, Peterkin the Jester has invented a new jig to celebrate it with.
What a silly jester.
So the marshal looking for the scribe to address him with the combined scores, which we are bated breath with.
If you are ready to receive the scores, the knight of the north, alas, has but 1 point.
The knight from the north, Sir Henry, 1 point.
The knight of the east scores 6 points.
The knight from the east, Sir Hugh, 6 points.
Score 6 points.
The knight from the west, Sir Roger, 6 points.
The knight of the south leads with 7 points.
And Sir John from the south, 7 points. So to decide our finalists, one finalist is of course Sir John from the south in red. However, since they are tied on points, we shall pull forward the knights in gold and green from the east and west to pass once more apiece and see if we can break the division between them and therefore send one of them through to the final against our knight from the south. So ladies and gentlemen, it's east versus west yet again. Our knight from the west is ready. Our knight from the east is ready. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready. Knight Marshal, are you ready? Away they go! Oh! A mighty blow. A fine strike from both our knights indeed, I agree, Marshal.
However, our knight of the west lost his lance in the list.
Indeed, the knight from the west did indeed lose his lance.
Therefore, I award the second finalist to the gold from the east.
The second finalist will therefore be our knight in gold from the east, the very pretty Sir Hugh. Indeed, to lose a lance is a very serious offence. In battle, if you dropped your lance, then your opponents could pick it up and use it against you, and you would, of course, be defenceless. So our finalists now, the Red Knight of the South versus the Gold Knight of the East. Sir John versus Sir Hugh. Perhaps now, ladies and gentlemen, if you've had your champion left out of the final, perhaps you now want to swap support. So what support have we for our Gold Knight of the East now? And what support have we for our Red Knight of the South now? If I try and extract the booing from the cheering, I'd say it's about almost even. Ladies and gentlemen, once more, let's wait for the marshal's command. Away they go! Oh, the squire had to watch his head there. The South achieved an attaint. Not a break, an attaint, but 1 point. And the same for the East. Sir Hugh receives 1 point for an attaint. 1 point apiece. Nothing splits these riders yet. The tension mounts. This could be the final pass. Could it be south or could it be east? Could it be red? Could it be gold? Whatever it is, let's make it good. Let's see Both have 2 points apiece. Both broke lance on each other's shield. Nothing is separating these two men. The scores there are still equal, 3 points apiece. We will run one more pass. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be a long afternoon. Let's see if we can get a victor. Gold or red? Gold or red? Gold or red? Gold or red? The marshal has called the lancers in. You could see there 2 clean breaks, but the marshal is now requiring to see the lance to see how deep down its shaft the breakage occurred. He gives the tournament to the Red Knight of the South! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let us not send this knight from the south away with the taste of booing in his mouth. Let's give him a and let's give a cheer to our runner-up, our knight in gold from the east, Sir Hugh! Ladies and gentlemen, please, one more round of applause, if you will, for all of our knights who've competed valiantly this afternoon. For our white knight from the west in green, Sir Roger. Our knight in gold from the east, Sir Hugh.
Which train did you go down?
Our knight in red from the south. And finally, our knight in blue from the north! Ladies and gentlemen, our combined scores will not change the course of events today. Our winner of today's entire tournament of jousting and skillet arms is indeed Sir John in red from the south. But please, if you will, also a warm round of applause for our full supporting cast of fine squires, our scribe, our jester, our musicians and our knight marshal, Sir John. But please, if you will, save your loudest cheers. Throw your babies in the air for our fine cast of wonderful horses. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we hope very much you've enjoyed yourself this afternoon.